All Souls Church at 80th and Lexington Avenue is the fourth church in our 200-year history. Since our founding in 1819, we've had three facilities, one completed in 1822, one in 1845, and one in 1855. All of these were very architecturally significant, but they suffered from poor structural engineering, inefficient materials, and a very inadequate maintenance program. So in a relatively short period of time, each one of these deteriorated and required our relocation to a new location. Our current church, completed in 1832, is now 85 years old. And while it appears elegant and substantial in its quiet beauty, it also has begun to suffer from decades of inadequate maintenance. Our spiritual home is in trouble. There have been increasing numbers of building and building systems failures in recent months and years, and closer scrutiny has revealed many problems, areas of deterioration and damage that, if we do not take care of them, could lead to the need for yet another building in another location. Unless we address these issues, our home may no longer be able to sustain and support our many ministries, programs, and outreach programs. Several years ago, Galen, Eileen, Maurice, and myself, along with our architect, began a systematic review of our facilities and capital spending. We looked at a 12-year-old facility assessment, as well as some preliminary plans to rehabilitate and bring our building up to modern standards. We examined what it would take to restore our spiritual home. We began to think about opportunities to make our facilities more attractive, soundproof, and accessible. We noted that good information about the developing backlog of what is pleasantly called deferred maintenance, that despite that backlog, our facilities and systems were falling into further disrepair and poor condition. System failures were increasing. Sewage pumps, elevators, heating system controls made these difficulties harder and harder to ignore. And then finally, even more challenging problems appeared. A crack in the steeple, leaks in the roofs and walls, cracks and blisters in our plasters and ceiling. Something has to be done. We began our review of the state of our building, the sanctuary, and the adjacent Wigan House, and we knew we had a very difficult, multifaceted, even multi-year program ahead of us to establish a solid foundation. We knew we would need lots of money, and we'd need clear and convincing evidence in our presentation. There are three components of our physical program. The first component is the skin, skeleton, and bones of the exterior of the building. The walls are very thick masonry, probably without insulation. The roof is slate. The gutters and the the gutters and the snow guards are copper, and they have all been out in the elements for 80 years. The mortar and decorative stone show signs of cracks, with intrusive ivy now removed, as well as from damage due to decades of sun, rain, and snow.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Those oh my God shots. That's worth somebody giving us some money here. All right, ready?
Yeah.
So after we have a solid exterior envelope, and we can be pretty sure that we're keeping the birds and the rain out, we need to tend to the building systems, the heating systems, the plumbing systems, the electrical fire alarms, and elevators. Let us show you a few examples of the problems we have. Our boiler is 20 years old, is badly in need of retubing, control adjustments, and upgrades. In particular, we need zone and temperature controls so that when it's hot in the sanctuary, it's not roasting in the school building. We also need to update the controls. The condensate return pit, for example, this is a steam system. The water returns to the condensate pit. And the pipes, the sump pumps, the controls, the floats, and the valves in that area have all deteriorated badly and need total replacement. An additional example is with our plumbing systems. For example, I'm looking into the sewage ejector pump pit room. The New York City sanitary sewer is above the elevation of this basement. So all the sanitary waste in our building comes down into these pumps, where it gathers up until it can be pumped out to the city sewer. This is an ancient system which has been failing continually. We have temporarily rebuilt it, but occasionally, in the worst of circumstances, it does overflow into the areas near Reedy and Friendship. The difficulties with our exterior can be seen on the interior, where seepage and other damage has occurred. So you can see, such as here, bubbling paint, plaster, cracks, open windows, cracked glass, all of which need to be fixed as well. Other examples of interior problems that we have with respect to blistering paint and plaster due to exterior conditions can be seen around this window. We have some structural cracks showing in the plaster. We have the paint peeling off. We have windows up above that cannot be opened or closed, and many of them are cracked and need replacement. Finally, when we know we have a good exterior skin and building, when we have upgraded our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, we can really begin to look at some exciting opportunities and improvements in the programmatic use, the audio-visual use, the technology, and opportunities in the sanctuary, Reedy Friendship Hall, the Forest Church Gallery, the kitchens, the classrooms, the offices, so that they can all be more flexible, adaptable, and comfortable, with better lighting, audio-visual, and acoustic opportunities, and air conditioning throughout to preserve our musical instruments, provide all-season use, and in the case of the organ loft, particular protection of our organ. So now you know the story of our church home. You have seen that we have not been, in the past, caring stewards for our home. We could have done better. But now, with your interest, participation, and financial support, we think we have an opportunity to restore and renew our physical house and spiritual home. This effort will benefit not only all of us, but future generations to come for all souls. And it is a key component of our capital campaign.
And please join me in welcoming back Alejandro, Renee, and the All Souls Choir to the sanctuary.